Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? I'm so glad you're here. It's Amanda with Amanda Strength Journals. Welcome back and welcome new friends. I have finally finished my golden books. These were probably supposed to be done May or anytime in the spring. But I took so much loving care with these that it is now September and they're finally ready. So hopefully you can see the tender loving care that I put into them and that you will love them as much as I love them. So I have a little mini book. Now this is not exactly a golden book, but it kind of goes with the golden book scene that I have going on here. So I have 6 junk journals. These smaller ones have the golden book spine still attached, the original one. I gave them huge beaded tassels with large beads. This is kind of part of their defining feature, these large beads. And I have 3 different sizes, 3 of these larger ones, and I'll measure them for you after I'm done. I have to pick each one up. I love them all so much. Did you hear the tassel noise? So great. Okay, and they all have papers that come out of the spine or the cover. So just a tad, everything kind of pokes out. That's another kind of defining feature of this set. You can see the paper is sticking out. Just a little, not a lot, but just a little. I also have put handkerchiefs, vintage handkerchiefs, out of the larger junk journals. Okay, so let me focus. Sorry, I'm feeling extra ADHD today, but I'm so excited. Oh, now I can't find my ruler. Okay, there it is. I'm so excited about these journals. I just really wanted to create the video for them. Okay, so the larger one is 8 inches by 6 1/8 wide. And the spine is 2.5 inches. And another feature of the spine on the large journals is I have embossed, I guess it's texture paste, gold metallic texture paste, and these floral designs. So each of these large ones have that. And the spine should be pretty similar. This one is a little larger, 2 5/8 wide. Let's see if the book is the same. 8. Yeah, pretty similar. This one's a Peter Rabbit. This one's My Home. This is Mother Goose. You can see that raised edge. Oh my gosh. I'm just so in love with them. I think I'll do that again. Especially if you guys like it. Oh, it's so beautiful. And I love that texture. Okay, now for these 2 more medium-sized golden books, I kept the original golden book spine. And there's 3 signatures. Okay, and the spine is like a little less than 1 in, oh no, that's not true. 1 1/8, maybe. 1 1/4, something like that. So this one's the same. It has 3 signatures. The middle signature is in the little groove. But don't worry, there is a full spine backing, so that is not going to be a problem. And this one, the smaller one, is a little different. It has embossing, but it's pretty flat. It's not with the thick textured paste. So it's a gold embossing, but it soaked into the fabric really well, so it's not textured. And the other thing about all of these books that I wanted to point out is they all have a vintage lace headband. Is that right? I wrote it down. I knew I'd forget the word. Forgotten it. Like, yeah. It's a headband and a footband. And I just love that. If you notice, they all have just a little bit of lace. The tassel kind of pulls down the top of it a little bit, but you'll be able to see it for sure. And when you lay down to journal in it, it'll definitely be fine. So this one's wider, of course, because the spine is wider, obviously. I just love that lace headband and footband. And normally when I do it, I tuck it in more. I definitely tucked it out so you could see it. Okay. The other thing I wanted to point out about these books is that I did paint with metallic acrylic and made kind of a vignette on all of them. It's kind of my signature, I guess. My signature style. I did that on the front and the back, and then I sealed it with Liquitex acrylic medium with a satin finish. So they're protected. Oh, the other thing is this is a fabric spine, a vintage fabric. Kind of got an 80s vibe to it. Okay, and I use the same fabric on all of them. For these that didn't need a spine because I had the Golden Book spine on it, I just put a strip of fabric for extra protection on these edges. And of course I have the same fabric on the inside. Okay, I kept the original Golden Book, and each one has that fabric going on the inside. Now for this little guy, oh, same thing. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so it's sealed brush. Oh, and they all have exactly the same book corners. They're kind of sharp, so be careful. But that definitely will protect the covers. Oh, I didn't do the little guy for size. In case anyone wants to know how big this guy is. Let's see. So 1 1/4 inch. About the same size as this one. This one's almost 1 1/4. And then it is, oh, my eyes are going, I'm getting older. 3. So 3/8 maybe, 5 3/8. And then 6 1/4 inches, about, thereabout. 1 2 3 4, 6 3/4, or 3/8, I mean. Did I tell you that these are 5 signatures? 1 2 3 4 5 on all of the larger books. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. And this is wax linen thread for the tassel and the binding. They're all 3-hole pamphlet stitched. You can see 1 2 3. Except for this little one, there was a lot of little papers, and so I knew that I needed more stitching. So this is a 5-hole pamphlet stitch for the little one. Some of the beads are vintage, and some of them are brand new. And some of them are like unusual, like that copper one. But yeah, I try to make them very colorful and different, and they definitely correlate. This had these bright red radishes on it to each individual book. So this one has the title in red, so there's more red beads. Very interesting. A nice selection. Of course, this is like kind of my signature bead, this really light pink, large pearl bead. I'll use those until they're all gone. I have a ton of them, so that's good. And just lots of different things. There's wood beads and plastic beads and glass beads. And then of course the metal beads. So these are, and the actual bead part is really big. I went really big on it. So, you know, it's not impossible to take it off. If you don't like it, that's fine. And the strings are pretty long too. You can always trim those how you like it. It's a nice big vintage bead. Okay, and these colorful plastic ones are vintage too. And my husband drilled through to make up a really nice bead there. So I had him collaborating with me because this is written in pink and there's a lot of green in here. I've got this crazy green bead and lots of pink beads. So, okay, so let us talk about the papers. So this is 3 signatures. There's lots of room to grow. Try not to overstuff it with just paper. I did damage this cover. I left it on a wipey. What I call a wipey, I just one of those wet wipes. So it is a little damaged, so take that into consideration, but I still like it. I like ruffles. I think I've said that before in one of my videos. It doesn't bother me. I used a lot of scrapbook paper. This is Simple Stories. And I kept the book pages. I have vintage school paper with workbook paper. I love that brown color. So this one is a little more simple and less diverse paper. This is a vintage ledger piece of paper. Maggie Holmes paper. This comes from a different Peter Rabbit book. This is vintage children's book paper. And a lot of the paper is just ripped, so you get nice textured edges. And vintage paper, or ledger paper, I mean. I really love this bunny paper. There you go. It's a great little book, huge tassel, lots of fun. Love it. All right, so here's the medium book. I was not a tassel fan, and now I think you can tell I am totally a tassel fan. I'm all about that tassel. I love the sound of it. I love the feel of it. Simple Stories paper, the Shy Little Kitten. There's lots of texture with the sewing. Vintage ledger paper, Maggie Holmes paper, tea-dyed paper, tea-dyed graph paper. I hope you can see. All the original book pages, vintage school book paper, scrapbook paper, tea-dyed writing paper, children's book paper, and I haven't really decorated the paper at all. So it's ready for your decoration, it's ready for your artwork, for your junk journaling, whatever you want to do to it. It's ready for your, this is a play workbook, vintage. This is new. I love this green paper. Cute illustrations. This is vintage, just a notebook paper. It's aged. Tea-dyed copy paper. This is a vintage Hallmark doily. Oh, it's so great. It's so detailed. I hope you can see that. Vintage wallpaper, vintage book paper. Nice mix of scrapbook paper. Of course, my vintage ledger paper, vintage music paper. I love that stripped edge for that paper. Peter Rabbit book paper. Maggie Holmes bees. I love that one. So cute. Alright, that's for the shy little kitten. Very cute. And this is the Rabbit's Adventure. And it's mostly the same. Same kind of paper. All the book pages are there. All the vintage paper. It's a very simple junk journal, but all together it's pretty special and pretty amazing. And you get to put your own style into it. So pretty special, I think. I hope you feel the same way. They're all just very similar, but each book is unique. But they all have kind of a similar vibe to them. I matched the colors and things to I want it to match not only the book, but the fabric I choose for this collection. So the whole thing, I feel, is a cohesive vibe that I was going for. With both the papers inside and all the embellishments outside. That was Rabbit's Adventure. Here's a Peter Rabbit. Here's a really old book paper. So there's some delicate things in here, so be careful. So the larger books have much more vintage book paper, I would say. But similar scrapbook papers. And the complete golden book pages inside. I believe the second and the fourth signature has the golden book pages. That's my favorite music paper, my favorite vintage ledger paper. It also has a vintage art book paper. Really enjoy that. Hopefully this has enough to inspire you to want a junk journal. I feel inspired. I wasn't going to keep one of these, but I might. I've fallen in love with them. Of course, when you spend that much time with a book, this was supposed to be done in the spring. You just end up falling in love. There's the vintage handkerchief. It's been cut to size, and so the little edge, the little scallop edge hangs out, which I love. I feel like it's a really great addition. There's a vintage map that I showed you in one of my last junk journal thrift store hauls. There you go. It's Peter Rabbit. It has a wooden R bead for rabbit. Oh, and an M for Mr. McGregor. Is that his name? Now that I'm on camera, I'm like, oh, is that it? Here's Mother Goose. And hopefully you can see that there's a lot of similar stuff. This might have more Mother Goose vintage book paper. Got similar styles of scrapbook paper. And vintage paper, tea-dyed paper. Hopefully you enjoy the vibe I've got going on here. So you can see the style I'm going for. Here's a coloring page. More vintage music paper. Simple Stories scrapbook paper. My favorite ledger paper. Ooh, this one has writing on it. I love that. Did everyone write better than I did? I love the old handwriting. Vintage art book paper. And a lot of the paper is ripped. Some of it is cut. Some of it's uncut. Vintage matte paper, vintage connect the dot paper, little florals, this special vintage notebook paper. Hopefully I won't run out of that. Every time I put it in a junk journal, I feel so blessed and lucky that I found it. Vintage hanky. This one's my favorite. I'm so sorry to see it go. I love that blue. That's Mother Goose. And then the last one is My Home. Got a lot of green beads in this one. For this one, I did not put one of those large copper beads. This one. The rest of them have it. But because this green piece of jewelry was so large, I didn't add it. It would have been way too heavy, I think. I really love this book. It is so cute. Hopefully you're getting lots of ideas for your junk journal, what to fill in it, what you like, what you don't like. Even if you're not interested in purchasing one of these. So once this video is up, these journals should be in my Etsy shop. The link is in the description. I love this. Such a great image. I really love these illustrations. And this is really cool. I couldn't wait to use those book pages. They're so old. They're very delicate, so be careful with your books. Treat them nice. I love that map. Nice orange color, so it's also in the orange vintage fabric of the spine. So these books are very warm. You can use them, save them for the spring or use them now. you know, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to use them for, whenever you want to use them, they'll be great. And junk journals, you can use them anytime for anything. Here's some metallic scrapbook paper. Here's the vintage handkerchief in that. Beautiful. I love the color of that paper. Lots of different colors, different ages, different styles of illustrations. It's a good mix. Alright, so that's it. Oh my gosh. And of course, I put lots of room for growth, so you can put all of the stuff that you want in them. And I just really hope you love them as much as I do. I just cannot believe it. I think they're so beautiful. And please note that there's no closure on these. Just the book corners and the pages. Look at those beads. So great. Just in love with this collection. I'll be happy if this collection sits around for a while. It's going to be hard to give up. So I hope you're doing well, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks. See you later, guys.